Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew Reed, Juris Doctor, Small Business Development, IT, and Marketing Guru from sunny Victoria, BC. Follow me for new podcasts on beginner investing in business as I survive, grow, and prosper in a post-COVID Canada. Disclaimer: my podcast and YouTube content offer very generalized information that has been beneficial to me. Always do your homework and due diligence and make sure that any moves you make are in your own best interest. Nothing in my content is any kind of advice, and continuing to listen constitutes acceptance of this disclaimer in its entirety. Welcome to part 2 of my new series, 100 Wealth Hacks that I personally use. This podcast covering 11 through 20. Number 1, use things less. Okay, but hear me out here. Use liquid laundry detergent, but use a smaller amount per load. Still works just as well. Saves you big time in the long run. That's one example. Consult your certified laundry doctor before attempting. Toothpaste, use the minimal amount to be effective. Cleaners like spray cleaners, same concept. The least amount of cleaner needed to be effective. Food items like mustard, keep the jar out. Replenish as needed in your plate, right? Rather than pouring out too much originally and then wasting it. Toilet paper and paper towels, hate to say it, but less use is more money. Driving, drive slowly, accelerate more slowly. Yes, you guessed it, less gas, more money. Shampoo and liquid soap, same thing. This stuff is concentrated. You might not need as much as you think you do. If you're paying for heat and water, use the minimal amount of that as well throughout your day, right? Shave a few minutes off of showers, wear sweaters and blankets, stay more active to reduce the need for expensive heat. Every penny you save turns into dollars off your budget, right? Which in turn leads to assets that can pay you. And what can you do there? Well, the cheapest dividend paying stock that I trust and know about is on the Toronto Stock Exchange, TSX DIV, like div. So this is a group of intellectual property purchases, right? So it's a company that holds intellectual property that they get paid residuals on. You own them. You also get paid some of these residuals. So this stock is $3.30 right now, which is up from $2.41 where I bought it at in mid-2021. And it pays about 1 penny per share monthly. So say that you're saving $30.30 per month from using these kind of tips, right? That's 10 of those div shares per month. That's 10 cents a month. In 10 months, you have enough div to pay you $1 every month, meaning that you get a free div share every 3 months, reinvesting the dividends. In 32 months, and I mapped this all out, you'll have gained $131 over the cash value just from those dividends being reinvested. So you'll have $1,102.20 versus $959.60, assuming it holds the price. And you'd be earning one free div share every month. That's at $3.30 every single month. That's just from saving $30.30 per month. And this illustrates how powerful each of these wealth hacks can be over time, especially using them in combination. You will be an unstoppable force. Number 2, logistical efficiency at home. This is where if you have errands, chores, tasks, you map them out in advance and find the optimal pathway to completion before you start. This will increase your available time and can reduce the amount spent per errand. For example, if today you need groceries, post office, and have a doctor's appointment, then plan around the immovable, right? Which is going to be the doctor's appointment. Go to the post office first, get that done and over with, and get groceries on the way back to minimize the temperature fluctuations. Now, if the location affects the optimal sequence, right, the cheapest pathway to get there to save the most money, then just modify your plan, right? If if you need to go to the doctor's appointment last or first because of location and how that route could save you gas, then do what you need to do. The point is, maximize your precious time. Number 3, strive to own at least one Bitcoin. Okay, you'll be rare. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. It is overwhelmingly likely the price of Bitcoin will continue to skyrocket in value because of this very fact of its scarcity. New Bitcoin, the 3 million that are still unmined, are getting harder and harder to mine by design. So continue buying small fractions of Bitcoin, regardless of price, until you hit that one Bitcoin minimum at least. This is what the Bitcoiners call stacking sats. Sat is short for Satoshi, which is the technical name of the smallest unit of account in Bitcoin. It equals to 0.00000001 Bitcoin. For perspective, one Satoshi will be $1 when one Bitcoin is worth $100 million USD. Number 4, you can have as many bank accounts as you want. Different accounts for different things. So I, for example, have 5 accounts with WealthSimple, 3 with Coast Capital, 3 with TD Bank, and 1 with Tangerine. And for all of these, I pay a total of $3.95 per month. And all of that goes to the TD minimum use checking account. And that account is on the chopping block, being considered as no longer needed, thanks to the versatility of the Tangerine and the WealthSimple cash checking accounts I have. So you can use multiple bank accounts to simplify accounting, right? Like one income stream per account for easier bookkeeping purposes, right? You can take advantage of the benefits of the different separate accounts by having more than one, right? Like Tangerine has a slight interest rate on checking. So if I'm paying a bill in 10 days, then I can hold the money in there and at least it will get a little bit of interest rather than not making me any money at all. And TD has a US funds account, so I can take and hold US currency without paying an exchange fee. And I can wait for the optimal time to convert it based on how weak or strong the Canadian dollar is, so that I can just maximize how much that conversion is going to do for me. And Coast Capital, that checking account has unlimited transactions at no cost at all, which is great for just all the little things. TD and Tangerine can connect easily with the CRA, which is very convenient for logging in and for verifying information. The WealthSimple cash account offers 1% cash back when you spend. It goes back into your crypto account. At least I've set mine to do that. And they have a Visa debit card that goes with their account. And it's kind of a side benefit, but it's probably the best looking debit card that I've ever seen. By the way, it looks like a high-end credit card, jet black with a W, and it rewards you like one too. So avoid as many fees as you can when you're adding these bank accounts, right? 0 is the optimal number. That should be your goal. Take advantage of bonuses to sign up opportunities, right? Sometimes these banks will offer $250, $300 if you just set them up with some kind of automatic deposit. Well, that's fine, right? Set your electricity bill, your to just be taken out of there, or have your payroll go into it. It's worth it for that $250, $300 extra. Just make sure you're not signing up to pay monthly or annual fees to have the account, because that would just eliminate the benefit. Monthly annual fees for accounts, unless you're high volume and unless you're getting exceptional rewards, is in my opinion, obsolete extortion, and you can do better. Number 5, help your causes, the things you care about, with time and not necessarily money, right? If you're in the part of your life where you're building wealth to be independent, this is not the time to give financial donations, regardless of the intensity of the need, right? So look at it as a matter of perspective, right? I mean, you have what, less than $100,000 probably if you're listening to this podcast and listening to these wealth hacks. Yeah, not to overgeneralize, but you may be listening just because you're a friend or family member of mine that has considerably more. Either way, look at it through perspective. Think of how many buildings there are in your city, right? Each worth at least $500,000 conservatively. All the separate single family homes. I mean, it's almost too many to count. And each of those is worth $500,000. There's so much money already out there. And so, with this giant pool of money, money is going to flow to the causes that you care about, right? So, it's going to flow even if you contribute your last $10 or not. Your $10 is probably not going to make any difference. And I'm sorry to say that. It just, it's unlikely, right? And it's difficult because these causes are so important, but try to restrain yourself from donating money and instead volunteer your time. Local charities need your help. There are plenty of places to volunteer. If you don't have a cause you're passionate about and don't know where to go, then you can just Google volunteer in my city and you'll see. And even 4 hours on a weekend can make a huge difference. We'll do so much more than a $10, $20 contribution. And one day, if you're taking that money that you would have given and you're diverting it to assets, then you will be able to help more than you could have if you were contributing $10 or $20 where you're still in financial slavery. So if you're, you know, in the end, you'll be contributing hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars at a time because you took the time to build that independent wealth. And to clarify financial slavery, right? This is what I mean by having no choice but to work a job to pay your bills, right? Like you are not going to be able to make your rent if you don't work. And if you lost your job, you'd have to go get another job right away. This is financial slavery, in my opinion. Now, and this is what we're doing here, right? Why we're applying these wealth hacks, why we're living frugally, why we are carefully saving and investing our money is to have the opposite of that financial slavery, to have the choice, right? Now, I will most likely work till the very end, but it's just having that choice that is everything. Um, One note, you may be able to creatively find ways to use your money within your tight budget to still help the charity. Okay, for example, if the charity is running a store that is selling secondhand goods and you absolutely need to get something, well, that's the place to buy it from, right? Don't buy it from some corporate store when you can benefit the charity at the same time with your money. Or another example, if the charity is selling gift baskets and you're in need for of a gift, birthday or Christmas gift or whatever, well, make your money count twice, right? Buy from that charity. Um, and that just makes your money twice as effective and you're still helping a great cause. So there are definitely smart and creative exceptions that you can do to help the world even more. Number 6, using a toaster oven for baking or reheating smaller things. It typically uses less electricity than the big oven, and it may even give you more control over the crispiness due to the ease of inspection of the food that you are cooking. Number 7, and this is straight from The Wealthy Barber, one of my favorite books, and something I definitely have learned to listen to. Pay yourself first. Should you be so lucky as to receive an unexpected windfall of cash. For example, an insurance refund of $115. Pay yourself first when you get that money, right? This is not extra money to waste. Rather, these windfalls can provide a much needed boost for a beginner's investment account. So if you get $115, invest $100, and then you can tuck that $15 away toward a little something for your own pleasure, right? Maybe to save up to go out for a nice meal or whatever you're into. In the meantime, let's do 15 push-ups right now. Really earn that $15, right? It makes whatever you buy with it that much sweeter. I don't even like free money. So you can earn it. Just do 15 push-ups. You'll still get that reward feeling. And then take that $100 that you set aside for investing and add it right away to your TFSA. Assuming you still have contribution room, and then pick a nice stock or an ETF to grow your wealth. Maybe even get some dividends just for owning it. It just makes sense. Commission fees on asset trades are best when they don't exist. Number eight. No commission fees. Avoiding commission fees when you're in the beginner stages of investing. I know that for advanced investors, the commission fees are usually associated with supreme features like complex charting abilities and options buying abilities, such as those provided by Quest Trade, which charges $5 a trade or something like that. But until you're advanced, don't pay commission fees for investing into your own future. The mere thought makes me shudder, as I was once paying nearly $10 per trade to TD Bank, and I have lost hundreds of dollars in doing so back in the day. Um, that is, until I realized the advantage of having a WealthSimple trade account with zero fees. The charting capabilities are incredibly limited with the WealthSimple trade account, right? You can look at different time charts, and that's about it. You can see it on the 1 year, the 5 year, the 1 month, the day, but you don't even get real time numbers, right? The numbers update every 15 minutes, unless you upgrade and pay a monthly fee. But this is okay, right? This is all right for the long term investors. It's not great for day traders, and there's workarounds. With this, I personally use Google Finance, and I still have access to my TD RRSP account, so I can get real time charting if I need it. Since they ignored my close request, but seems to be a policy where TD can't continue to rob you with fees if your balance is zero. Should that change, I'll eliminate the TD RRSP account. I'll tell you what. But one other thing about WealthSimple, it will tell you the expected all-in cost in real time at the moment before you execute the trade, right? So you'll be able to see what you're pretty much going to pay, as much as it can estimate, because things change quickly, right? But again, not the best option for day traders, but for long-term investors doing the occasional rebalancing, throw away the fees. There's a link to WealthSimple Trade in this podcast description, and should you choose to use it, we will both get some free money in our accounts if you use that link. And a big thanks to all of you who have done so already. Number 9, and I am somewhat talking to myself with this one, but make the effort to get the refund. Now, this might just be for people like me, but I hate using my time and energy, etc., to stand in line or to wait on hold for hours to get the refund. But you know what? It can and it should be done. You can multitask the phone calls. You can clean and tidy your house while you're waiting, fold laundry or something. Um, Letting your focused righteousness build into laser beams that will reveal the optimal outcome of the conversation, right? Uh, Basically, just let it build. Now, I'm not saying be mean to these reps, not at all. Absolutely not, right? Um, be diplomatic, be focused, know what you want to get out of it, and go for it. Be ready to push back through some pushback. And so once you get to the front of the line, or the end of that 2 hour waiting on hold, right? Tell them if it's actually true how this hassle has affected you. You've taken 2 hours out of my day so I can get this $20 refund, and I could have been doing other things. I could have spent time with my family. I could have been making more money, right? And if you share this with them, you may find yourself the recipient of extra rewards points or other benefits that are set aside to appease people in your situation. Because it's still cheaper to these companies than losing a customer forever, which was a choice that you could have made. Instead, you chose to take your time and make things right. So get what you're entitled to, and it will feel great later to see that refund applied. Number 10, check the back end caps of aisles in grocery stores and drugstores, right? They kind of operate like a grocery store. Okay. So in these back end caps, you can often find a clearance shelf where items that are near expiration or that are discontinued, even pending rebrands, right? They're just changing the design of the logo and then they have to pull them from the shelves. Now they're up there for substantial discounts because typically they'll get disposed of and then the store will get a credit. But even while they're disposed of, they have the right to liquidate them and generate a little extra money on them, and they will often do so. So if it's something you use frequently, load up now, right? Even if it will exceed your budget, because in the long run, your average spend will be lower. Something to consider there, right? Averages are important. So budgets are really great, but don't be afraid to zoom out a little bit and seize an opportunity if it will save you money in the long run, because that is the actual game that we are playing here, is the long game. Bonus tip: don't use the items that you just purchased and you have some extra ones. Don't use them in excess of normal usage just because you have a big supply, right? Just use them normally. Resist the temptation. So concludes my podcast 100 wealth hacks I personally use, numbers 11 through 20. Stay tuned for 21 through 30, coming soon, probably within a week. And best of luck to everybody out there in these difficult times.
Do you have any Instagrams you would like to share with us before you go?
Get the latest real-time updates from my Instagram at Canada Stock Market. At Canada Stock Market. Check out my entire catalog of podcasts completely free at anchor.fm/Canada Stock Market. Anchor.fm/Canada Stock Market.